So question 16, graph the function using a graphing utility and the change base formula to do this. So remember our change base formula, we can write this as a base 10 logarithm if we want, or a natural logarithm. So I have y equals, and I can go like the log of x over the log of 7. These are both base 10 logs. So if I use that, I can graph it that way. So y equals, and type in the log of x, log x, close parenthesis, divided by log 7, close parenthesis. If I graph that, that'll give me that graph there. Notice it says change the viewing window too. So if you want, you can change your viewing window. So that's your -2 by 5, -2 by 5. And then the y-min is -2 by 3. So if I graph it again, it probably looks a little bit more like what they have there. So notice how it does look a lot more like C now. And that should make sense because we've talked about logarithmic functions that the domain restriction, this doesn't have any shifting going on. The domain restriction would be the y-axis. The x has got to be greater than 0. And also that it does pass through 1, 0. So if I look at the table, notice that 1, 0 is there. And then notice how if you go to 0 and to the left, it's going to be domain restrictions. And since there's another order pair, 7, 1 would be another order pair, but it's not part of our viewing window. Now remember, we don't actually have to use the change base formula. We actually have a special button on our calculator. If we hit the math button and go up to that log base, we actually can just type it in as is, a 7 and an x there. And if I graph, notice it gives me the exact same graph. So you don't necessarily have to use the change base formula because of that special button in our math menu.